Hi there, beer fans. So which one will win? Well, I think, like I said on the Harpers video, Old Speckled Hen for me is the better beer between these two. It is a different beer as well. But some of you wanted me to do a side-by-side video. That's on the YouTube channel, other social channels, and some of the lads at work as well want me to do a side-by-side one. I think lads at work just want to see me drink a lot and fall over on video. I'm not going to do that. So here you are. Welcome to Andy's Beer Reviews, everybody. Right, let's try these. So I did the Harpers English Pale Ale review from Aldi. It's Aldi's own brand, and because of the packaging of this looks like, and I think I showed on the video at the time, I can do it again, look, modern technology. That is virtually a spit of what the old branding for the old Speckled Hen used to be like, and a lot of us prefer the old branding. I think this looks cheap. I really do. I think old Speckled Hen packaging now looks like something. That wasn't a motorbike that time. That sounded like a car that's got faulty exhaust. Yeah, I think it looks cheap. I really do. I think they've cheapened the brand by what they've done. What they've done with it, with the label. It just looks like a cheaper brand now. So I think what they may have been clever, they may not have done. I know I've had a couple of comments that said that when they saw this, they knew they recognised it from somewhere, but didn't know where from. And that's it. This is the old packaging from the old Speckled Hen. And I think because a lot of people prefer that old packaging, I think it's a bit of a masterstroke. I think you look at that and say, actually, I like that. Actually, I recognise that as well. So here we are, side by side. I think that's going to win. I really do. I think it is a tastier beer. But until we do this, we're never going to find out, are we? Now, side by side, they are the same colour. Same colour, same head. The head's formed in pretty much the same way. But, it's a mixture of some fine bubbles and some bigger bubbles. It looks more carbonated, does the Harpers, but only by a smidgen. It's not by a massive amount, to be fair. The way we're going to really proper find out about these two beers is by tasting them, isn't it? So let's try them. Cheers, everybody. A classic. It's a classic beer. It's malty. It's got that toffee note in there. There's a little bit of fruit coming through. On the end of it, a really nice, satisfying dry finish. Nothing fancy, but do you know what? It's been on the market and it's still on the market for a reason. Let's try the Aldi Harpers one. Cheers, everybody. I do live near some idiots, don't I? I'm sure you heard that on the microphone. So it sounds like somebody's exhaust about to blow up. Harpers then. It's lighter. It's smoother, so that could have something to do with the carbonation in there. It is a smoother feeling beer. The old Speckled Hen does have that. Whilst it's toffee, it does have a kind of almost a burnt toffee or a bonfire toffee note that does kick in. Idiots. That does kick in. So it feels, compared to Harpers, I have to say that the old Speckled Hen does feel a little bit harsh. Where the Harpers does feel a little bit smoother. So it's not got that bite that's got. It's not as malty, not as toffee flavoured. Toffee is in there. It's got a nice fruity flavour, mild, exactly like OSH. And there's a little bit of floral flavour in this as well, which is quite nice. I mean, both of that, I think, like I said on the review for the Harpers, they're both decent enough beers in their own way. Old Speckled Hen has been around for a long time and will be around a lot longer than Harpers. Absolutely no shadow of a doubt. But on its own, it's a decent beer, isn't it? I have to say, if I'm after a pint that's a classic pint, that's got that tradition, that's got that depth of flavour, I'm going to go for Old Speckled Hen. Absolutely takes it, 100%. But if, and like we all are sometimes, if we are in a situation where money's a bit tight, I don't get paid until the back end of next week. If I need to go out there and get some beers, I can buy that. That's £4.50 for 4 cans. So you're talking about £1.12, £1.13 a can. It's a good price. I think those Speckled Hen's about £1 extra for 4 cans. So you're adding a bit more money to it. Harpers, I think you could buy. You could buy 4 of them. Like I say, it's a decent enough pale ale. English pale ale. It's a decent enough English pale ale. And you still have some money left over for your chippy tea on Friday. And sometimes, even for me, sometimes I drink a different beer every day. It's not cheap to go out and do that. So sometimes it's going to be consideration in mind. Where do I shop? Do I shop in the supermarket? So, went shopping in Aldi and looking for beers, and that's how I found that. So you've got to do that every so often. You've got to push yourself into that bracket of saying, most of us have to. Some of you won't have to. Some of us don't have to sometimes. But at the moment, sometimes we need to look at our finances and go, do you know what? I just want a cheap and cheerful pack of 4 beers. When I get home, and have a chippy tea when I get in. Therefore, I'm going to go for Harpers rather than go for the Old Speckled Hen. And sometimes that decision is there. Personally, my favourite is Old Speckled Hen. Just by a whisker, though. Just by a whisker. The Harpers has just got some really, really nice flavours to it. It is lighter. It is slightly more refreshing. It's got that little. It's smoother. It's not got that. Like I say, that's got a little bit of like burnt toffee flavour in there, the bonfire toffee flavour. That's not in the Harpers. If it wasn't for that, you'd be looking at that thinking, well, I was going to say, you'd be looking at that saying it's a cracking beer. Actually, I still think it's a cracking beer, even without Old Speckled Hen on the horizon. But the fact that it's trying to take on Old Speckled Hen, you've got to have this discussion about which would I buy. As it happens, I bought a 4-pack of both of them. Yeah, do you know what? For me, Old Speckled Hen takes it, but it's just, I think originally I've scored that back in the day, 8 out of 10, and I'm happy to stick with that. I think on the review I did for Harpers, that's a 7.5 out of 10. It's still a cracking beer and a cracking score, so I'm still happy to stick with that. Ultimately, it's up to you, the drinker. It's up to us, the drinkers, isn't it? I would absolutely recommend people go out and look at this one. And if you're a fan of Old Speckled Hen, I would say track that down your local Aldi, get it and try it. And whilst it's not as rich as that, I think your pocket, your wallet, your purse will thank you for saving a little bit of cash on that drink. And it is a cracking drink. Well, what you guys do, though, is comment. Let me know. I know a lot of you, because I've had the comments on YouTube and socials, have bought that and have tried it. Let me know what you think about it. And just let me know if anybody's had both. A lot of beer drinkers know what that tastes like anyway. So if you've had that, what do you think about both of them? Do you agree with me? Is that a 7.5 out of 10 beer? Is that an 8 out of 10 beer? Let me know in the comments, please. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, all the usual stuff, please. And as usual, please drink responsibly, everybody. Enjoy beers. Cheers.